We'll talk about this on the panel.
Why did you edit the tape? Why did you doctor the tape? Why did you doctor it? Do you think that a union official should call a student the N-word? Why are you laughing about the N-word?
Well, I'm not laughing at the N-word.
Yes, you are laughing.
I'm not laughing.
You're also shaking.
Do you think it's funny that Ben Burgis is laughing about the N-word? I find it repulsive.
Well, see, but here's my problem. This is so horrendously bad faith from James's perspective, from James's part here. And you could like that because we don't like Ben Burgis. That's fine, I guess. But you have to maintain objectivity here.
This is 100% Schadenfreude. Okay?
I know it is. I know it is. You're just like, yes, I'm so happy that James is shitting all over Ben Burgis.
O'Keefe
I understand that.
is doing the Lord's work here, okay? Do you see what's in the watch together for you? The treat of treats.
What the f is this title?
The treat of treats. Okay, so
James, should I read the title of this?
Yeah, go ahead, read it.
Full interview. James O'Keefe questions Ben Burgis over N-word edit backstage at Mines Festival of Ideas.
So we've had Ben Burgis on the show.
Yeah.
He's I think it's fair to call him a long-winded commie. He talks a lot and doesn't say a lot like Richard Wolff. He also he's really rubbed me the wrong way because he has a bad habit of mischaracterizing Jordan Peterson. Like he calls Jordan Peterson a transphobe and a racist and stuff like that, which I don't think that kind of stuff is fair. So in this video, Ben Burgis gets some delicious comeuppance. And it's so glorious. It's so beautiful. You're gonna love every minute of it. Do you have a take on Ben Burgis? Have you interacted with him
beyond when we talked to him? No.
Yeah.
I just found. I mean, I have no take except for what I said. You know, I don't like the way. I don't like his speaking style. It makes me want to kill myself.
Well, he did after he came on our show.
Mm-hmm.
He did go on the Majority Report and basically call us Jordan Peterson chuds.
Right.
Yeah, that he did a talk with a couple of guys who were Jordan Peterson fans, and obviously, you know, they're racist pieces of shit and
sure. Yeah, I don't remember exactly what he said.
Homophobic assholes. So we can all laugh and make fun of them. Yeah.
Right. I remember the last thing I saw with him was he was in a conversation with Sean about something. I don't remember what it was. I just remember it felt like he was being dishonest in the conversation.
Yes.
But I don't remember I don't even remember what the topic was, honestly.
Dishonesty. That's what rubs me the wrong way. A-Team is about truth. A-Team is team truth, okay? We're about honesty, forthrightness, righteousness.
Sammy says she cosplayed the mess of my head. It worked.
Did she really? Big trouble now. All right, let's get into this video.
Yes.
What did I lie about?
I just said it twice, but I'll say it a third time.
I'll release the full raw video tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm sure you.
He said the N-word backstage. Is that what everyone freaked out about?
No, and I only saw a bit of this. They haven't released it. Project Veritas released some of the Minds conference talk, some of this talk. And it does get spicy early on. I think they released maybe 15 minutes of it on their channel. And Ben Burgis calls George O'Keefe a liar, basically, in the very beginning. And George O'Keefe, is it George O'Keefe?
James
O'Keefe.
George O'Keefe is the lady that paints the flower vaginas.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Not the vagina paintings.
Yeah. Easily confused with James O'Keefe.
Right. James O'Keefe. So James O'Keefe, Ben Burgis calls James O'Keefe a liar on stage, which seems super like, what the fuck? We're going to go in this direction immediately. But then you find out this happened right before this panel.
Oh no.
And man, he just utterly annihilates him right before he has to go out on stage.
That's your power move right there.
A total power move. So that's why
The
Go ahead.
debate was about systemic racism and policing. That was the Sean and Ben Burgis debate.
Yeah, we have
Thank
to
you, Jeff.
see. We have to see this. Yeah. And obviously, this is another reason why I don't like Ben Burgis, because Ben Burgis, he's bought into that America is a racist place narrative, just hook, line, and sinker. And, Sean obviously is the stats guy. So I'm dying to see how Sean just took him to task.
Yeah.
Will be fascinated. I will be fascinated to see if it's actually the full video.
Okay, so here's the full video.
Uh-oh.
Here it is. Ready?
Hey, Ben. James.
Hey,
Nice to see you.
see you.
How you doing? You excited for the panel?
I am, yeah.
You excited
What is
for
this death stare he's giving him? What is
you
going on here?
excited for the panel?
What is this? What is this look he's giving him?
Who?
Look at Ben. Why is he's got like the head tilted down, like he's like looking over the rims of his glasses, like he's the teacher that just caught you
This
like
is-
talking in class. What's that?
This is like the To Catch a Predator look right here. This is the like O'Keefe is digging through the fucking chat logs. Oh, you've been texting with a 12-year-old girl, Ben.
about communism.
Yeah, exactly. Look at you're so right. Look at that death stare.
Hey,
Yeah, what is-
this one clip here of you talking about the Teachers Gone Wild video.
Yep.
Remember
Yep.
this?
This is so. I can't wait.
You talk about
I can't imagine like I'm like backstage somewhere. I'm like walking through, and then James O'Keefe is just there with a camera and a fucking iPad. He's like,
and
hey,
and a sports coat and a fucking
is so weird.
microphone with
Yeah, it's
a
like, what the fuck
Project
is this?
Veritas label on it.
This is so bizarre. I'd be like, this is like so bizarre. Like what the fuck? I'd be like, James. It's nice to meet you. Okay, I'll see you on the stage. And I just like walk away. Like this is such a weird like ambush. I'm actually kind of shocked. I'm actually really shocked. This was at Mines, right?
Mines, yeah.
I'm actually really shocked if this is backstage that Mines would allow James, if they knew about it, to do this. Because generally, if you're doing like one of these speaking things, like people
Sitch,
that are
why
going to go on
you-
stage, they don't want to like, they don't want to be like filmed backstage at the
Why
permission
do you
and have
wanna
some like
ru-
weird interaction.
Why do you want to ruin this?
I just
Don't-
think it's weird. It's super fucking weird. It's just a very strange
It's
situation.
It's totally ethical, Sitch. Don't
It's
think about.
listen, it's hilarious. I might say it's not funny. It is
Fir-
very funny.
First of all, remember what Ben Burgis did to us? He went on another show and started fucking
No,
lying,
listen.
lying like a
You
little
misunderstand-
bitch.
You misunderstand me. I don't care about Ben Burgis in the situation at all. I'm saying from mine's perspective,
Right.
it hurts their brand.
It hurt. What?
to have this.
You're completely incorrect because the panel got spicy 5 seconds in because
Well,
of
no,
this.
because who's gonna like if you're on the left, like
Who's
Mines
gonna
is
go
desperate to
back?
Have these
Who's gonna
debates.
go
Yeah.
back?
Is Ben gonna come back after? I mean, maybe he would. I don't know. I could be wrong, but
He's gonna definitely ask if James O'Keefe is there.
right. Okay. But anyway, let's see. Let's see what he's gonna confront him with.
Oh, this is so good. You haven't seen this, right?
I have not seen this.
Okay,
no.
this is great.
about the video games laughing on their dime. Union officials, remember this? Right? Laughing while playing video games.
Yeah.
And then you kind of mocked that because it was like, what's the point of that? And like, I kind of agree with it if that was the only thing that the video showed. But 10 seconds later, in that very video, which you cut from, was the woman talking about using an.
She says an N-word.
She says the N-word to a student, right? 10 seconds later. Right?
Yeah, so
Do you know what's big? I have no clue what the fuck they're talking about. Do you know the backstory to any of this?
I know just from the clip that Ben Burgis was on another show and he deceptively edited out part of the show
Mm-hmm.
to basically mock the show.
Does someone in the chat know? I have no clue what they're talking about here
Okay.
at all. Does anyone in the chat know? I'm so lost, but okay.
Well, can't you just like roll
yeah, I
the
understand.
punches
That's-
and perhaps catch up as they go along? I mean,
he's saying that
you know, sometimes in movies they throw out stuff that's confusing because they're going to wrap it up later on.
they've
It's a
in
big,
media
like,
resed us here for this thing.
it's a big like surprise.
He's accusing Ben of cutting away from some video they're watching before the contentious part happens,
Yeah, that's
where she calls
complete.
someone the N-word. I understand that.
That's
part, right?
completely evident. Yeah.
Okay.
So I am glad to know that you have that you've had this moral epiphany about selective editing.
Good answer.
You think that's a good answer?
It's a total whataboutism, but it's not untrue.
Well, I did bring up it is whataboutism.
There's your bingo space.
It has you've had a moral epiphany about selective editing.
It's
But-
a snappy response. I don't know if I would have been that snappy with it.
I think it's a terrible response because he's basically admitting that he himself participates in selective
guess
editing.
you're right. I
And you
guess you're
can't take the fucking moral high ground if you're going to say, "Oh yeah, dude, I do it too." Yeah, it's a terrible response. Yeah. It's a terrible response. And I think George or James O'Keefe would easily say, "Well, listen, we don't selectively edit. We are against selective editing."
Right. Oh, here's another good bingo space.
we're
Sitch
not doing-
ruined something for Adam.
Yeah, why not just watch the thing?
Okay.
You're like, I have to. Sitch's autism is kicked in. He's like, I have to understand the
I don't-
entire
I wanna
backstory
know.
of the
Yeah.
video here.
Right.
It becomes evident.
Okay.
So, you know, I showed him the clip. I found the clip, and I was just kind of wondering. I saw that you were a professor from Morehouse, an adjunct professor, and I was just curious how you thought that a teacher.
What are these fucking glasses changes?
You're pausing at the worst times. Okay?
I can't pay attention.
You're not paying attention
what
to
is
what's
he
happening.
wearing? Take those off. It looks
Sitch,
ridiculous.
your pause game is weak. Okay.
No, this guy's glasses game is weak. He's got golden glasses with a fucking chain on
He's
with a
in-
cross at the
he's
top.
in
He's
the
like
middle-
an anime fucking character.
He's
This
in the
is like-
middle of explaining what is going
Okay,
on.
I'll
Okay.
go back. I'm just
listen,
saying, like
listen.
that guy is dressed like an anime character. I expect him to be wearing, what's his name, Wolfwood's giant
have no-
cross from Trigun on his back. Or
You have
something.
no idea the 10-dimensional chess that James O'Keefe is
Okay,
playing
I'm
right now.
ready. I went back.
With the way that guy is dressed,
Yes.
it's fucking perfect for this
Okay,
interaction.
okay,
Okay,
okay.
I agree. It's a little David Lynch, but it's perfect for this interaction. So
Okay.
this is a guy that found the clip
Right,
that Ben Burgis is selectively
Gotcha,
ignoring the juiciest part of the clip. Okay.
Okay.
And for those of you who are just listening, the gentleman is African American. So
Yes, which is important because
obviously,
you're talking about someone who said the N, a white lady that said the N word. Yeah.
right, exactly. And he's right up in Ben Burgis's face saying,
Right. Gotcha.
"Bro, you think that's cool?"
I found the clip, and I was just kind of wondering. I saw that you were a professor from Morehouse, an adjunct professor, and I was just curious how you thought that a teacher saying the N-word. Were you saying it's okay for New Jersey black students to
that's
be called the N-word by union official?
Yeah. So I think that you're not actually wondering that. I think that you're a very dishonest person if you're pretending to wonder about that. I think that the function of a union, one of the functions of a union, is to provide people with representation and the best defense possible they can get in the context of a disciplinary proceeding, the same way that a lawyer would provide you with representation and the best defense possible.
Why did you edit the tape to exclude the N-word mentioned by the union official?
Yeah, the tape is like half an hour. The idea that I'm editing it because I'm showing in that clip that I'm showing, what am I doing? I'm showing that you are including all of this stuff that, you guys decide to put that in the video. You probably had hundreds of hours of footage.
She was just.
No, I'm sorry.
What are you sorry about?
I'm sorry. That is my polite.
That's so good. That's so good. He's weighing his grill. What are you sorry about?
Midwestern way of saying don't interrupt me. So they have so you are the one who chose to include that in the video. right? You probably had hundreds of hours of footage.
The teacher calling a student the N-word.
Yes.
That, and you said that. I'm sorry.
I know this is what you do, this ambush gotcha stuff, but what I'd like you to do.
I showed the clip to my boss.
Instead of asking silly ass leading questions, what I would like you to do is explain to me, right, in context, why is it that you think that particular should have been shown?
So do you get what's going on now, Sitch?
Yeah, but I understand. Okay.
They have a Project Veritas clip
Right.
that Ben Burgis brings on his show and accuses them of selective editing.
Or some kind of dishonesty, yes.
When he himself
right.
has selectively edited out the most important part of the video.
Presumably the juiciest, salacious part of it, which is the
Right.
teacher calling someone or saying
And
yes.
editing it out because Ben Burgis is completely pro-union and this person is a union official saying the N-word, which is
Was this person a union
obviously
official,
doesn't
or
look
was
good.
it the teacher the union official was defending?
Well, I think that it's a teacher is a union member. So
Okay, right.
in the debate, they actually talk about union membership a bit, and I'm sure it's spawned by this early interaction. But James O'Keefe definitely, I mean, he did some homework on Ben Burgis and was like, I'm going to beat the shit out of this guy right before the panel. So
Right, but I would have to see and understand what is being discussed here before I come in and say Ben Burgis is being a dishonest fuck or something.
right.
Because I still don't I understand what James is saying. I just don't understand if that's accurate or not.
Right.
But
So
I'll
you
watch it
think
for
Ben
next
Burgis
week.
is potentially being honest here?
I have no clue. How
Right.
am I supposed to know?
Right, you're right. He could just be reacting to the fact that he's been ambushed, but really he's completely in the right.
Well, there could have
Like,
been. I don't know what. Since I don't even know what the video that James
Ben
was
Burgis
talking
is
about.
dishonest as fuck
Listen,
on the reg at a regular clip.
I agree.
Ben
I
Burgis is
agree.
best friends with Jangles. Okay.
Okay. Listen, this is how the Sitch autism works.
Okay.
Okay. I agree with you. I don't like Ben Burgis. I think when I've seen him, I get very annoyed with him because I feel like he's being very dishonest. I even said this before you showed me this clip. I felt like in his debate with Sean, he was very dishonest in the way that he would frame things. Like Sean would say something and then he would change the framing completely, or he'd whataboutism, or change the subject, or et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. He wouldn't actually address whatever the points are. And I felt like there was the same thing in our conversation. We'd say something and then he would change the subject and then drone on for like 10 minutes.
Right. Totally.
And, make me want to die. And it's like, so yeah, believe me, I have no love for Ben Burgis here.
Okay.
I'm just saying I don't really understand the clip that they're talking about, why James put it out in the world, and why Ben was reacting to it, or what he was even reacting to. So that's all I'm saying. I want to know all that information before I jump in and say, look at this fucking dishonest piece of shit. He got wrecked. That's all I'm saying.
He did get wrecked, though. You got to admit he's getting
He
wrecked.
did get
here.
wrecked. Yeah.
Oh, it gets
That's
better.
And in particular, what do you think should happen if that happens? Do you not think that people should get representation from unions when they face disciplinary consequences?
That clip showed that they did get. That clip showed. I'm sorry. If I can say something, sir. No.
We'll talk about this on the panel.
Why did you edit the tape? Why did you doctor the tape? Why did you doctor? Do you think that a union official should call a student the N-word? Why are you laughing about the N-word?
Well, I'm not laughing at the end.
Yes, you are laughing.
I'm not laughing.
You're also shaking.
Sitch, I hear you laughing pretty fucking hard over there. Do you think it's funny that Ben
It is
Burgis
funny.
is laughing about the N-word? I find it repulsive.
Well, see, but here's my problem. This is so horrendously bad faith from James's perspective, from James's part here. And you could like that because we don't like Ben Burgis, and that's fine, I guess. But this is like, you're laughing and you're shaking. You're laughing at the N-word. Why are you laughing at the N-word? Like, this is so give me a break.
It is great though. The
It's
only
so
reason
ridiculous.
I
It's
saw
so
this.
ridiculous.
I have no love for Ben Burgis. Ben
I don't
Burgis is
either.
like a dishonest piece of shit, man. He's personally attacked me. And
I
fuck
understand
that guy.
But this is how This is how you have to wrangle your elephant. Okay, you have to maintain objectivity here.
This is 100% Schadenfreude.
I know it is. I know it is. You're just like, yes, I'm so happy that James is shitting all over Ben Burgis. I understand that.
Is doing the Lord's work here, okay? We run a comedy show, okay? This is comedy gold.
Okay. It is funny. I'll give you that.
Why are you laughing about the N-word? You are. I see you laughing. Why are you laughing?
Please let the record show that Ben Burgis is laughing and shaking about the N-word.
The fact that he
zoom into his hand.
Ben Burgis is the first person to go out and start calling people homophobe, transphobe, racist. That's his go-to move. That's his signature move. That's why I love it. I love it because James is like, oh, look, we can play you're a racist piece of shit too.
Is Ben Burgis making the okay sign with his hand?
It does look like
while he's laughing about saying the N-word. Is that what's happening here?
He's signaling right now to his he's hiding his power level, signaling to his audience that he thinks the N-word is funny.
Right.
How terrible.
There you go.
The
dog whistles.
Ben Burgis is like the worst.
I'm not laughing at the N-word. You're a liar.
You think this is a lie because Lissa Ploshnik was suspended in...
Look at this. He's bringing up the articles. New Jersey teacher is suspended, denied pay raise after being filmed on hidden video at NJEA conference. Because I guess she said the N-word. I don't know the context of the N-word.
Presumably.
You can bring up the article though. I'm sure you will, right? Sitch.
That's what I'm doing right now.
Weaponized autism. You want to see? We only have a couple minutes here. You want to watch the rest first?
Oh wait, NG teacher. Let me just. Yeah, we can watch the rest of it. But let me just.
Okay.
NG teacher suspended.
Denied pay raise after being filmed on hidden video. So.
Okay.
The Star Ledger.
Denied pay raise.
So Ben Burgis probably has this clip on his show.
An unflattering video made during a New Jersey Education Association leadership conference this summer has had repercussions for at least one union member. A special education teacher was suspended for 9 days and will be docked a pay raise after making crude comments to an undercover videographer. Alicia Polshnik's unintentionally starring performance in, quote, Teachers Union Gone Wild video.
What?
The video is called Teachers Unions Gone Wild. Like Girls Gone Wild.
Is she saying this article looks like it says November 2010 on it? That's like a lifetime ago.
Yeah, this is really old. I don't know why this is from 2010. I don't know why it's being talked about now. But
was she using it? Was it hard R or A?
I don't know. It says including, among other things, using the N-word and joking about how hard it is for tenured teachers to be fired. It was all caught on tape at a hotel bar during a conference. The superintendent said he considered bringing harsher punishment of tenure charges, and said discipline was a difficult decision because some people believe what she said outside the school system is someone's right. But he said that her comments were professionally insulting and not the responsible behavior of a professional person employed by the Board of Education. Blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Okay. Well, yeah, but why? If this is from 2010, why is Ben Burgis responding to it anyway?
Because it's he likes to talk about unions. He wants the whole world to be unions again.
Yeah, but was this? It doesn't. The article didn't even say if it was a. I'm assuming it was a Project Veritas video. But.
All right, I got to do more research. Damn it, Sitch. Fuck. You do all the research on the Sunday show. I'm just the fledgling Tuesday show producer, okay?
Well, let's finish this off.
New Jersey, it made the front page of the Star Ledger, and you doctored that out. You edited the... You didn't include it. It was 10 seconds after the tape, and you doctored...
Seconds after that and 10 seconds after that. The idea that that's doctoring is...
Do you
the most generous way you can put that is very confused. Now...
Do you care that the teacher called a student the N-word and is still teaching? Do you care about that? Do you think that's okay?
What do you think should happen?
I'm asking you, do you think it's okay?
Are we going to have a discussion here?
I want to know the name of this teacher who called the student the N-word, don't you?
No.
You don't care. Wow. You don't care that a teacher calls a student the N-word. That's unbelievable. An admission.
That is obviously not what I said. Okay, guys.
Sitch, this is fucking gold.
It's pretty funny.
Wow.
They know who the teacher's name is in the article.
Do they?
Yeah, I said the name. I read it in the article.
Oh, okay.
Just a very Polish sounding name.
We can do this on the panel. The 20 cameras at once leaning in, asking. No, 1, 2, 3,
This is
5, 6.
called sunlight. How does it feel?
It's not called sunlight.
What is it called?
What it's called is sleazy clickbaiting.
How about calling a student the N-word?
That has absolutely nothing to do with a real discussion over
Let's
what.
have a real discussion. We're having a real discussion.
Have a real discussion on the panel, James. Thank you for confirming.
The N-word, you heard it there.
Oh my.
There you go.
Oh my goodness.
So wait, let me go back. I want to see if I
Just
can. I want to see if we can figure out what the Ben Burgis video is.
You talk about the.
It doesn't say the name of the video.
It had him. Anyway, it had there.
Yeah, Ben Burgis, Matt Lech, and Jake Appett. I don't know if that's like a normal thing though for them, but I'll look at. If anyone has a link to that, put in the chat or send me on Twitter or something. I am curious. I think
there's one thing here.
Mm-hmm.
Look, everyone's got their cell phone, which is fucking great,
I know.
right? And I think
Yeah.
I think I saw Ryan Long over here laughing in the corner.
I'm sure he was.
I think was Ryan Long on the panel? I don't remember if he's just there. Ryan Long is the comedian that does. Oh God, he did the hilarious woke guy and
woke or
racist
racist?
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, who were friends.
Yes.
Yeah, that's who Ryan Long is. He's amazing. So I think he's giggling in the background there. The turn to the camera. Now you don't. I mean, you've been, let's say you've been critical of James O'Keefe in the past.
Right.
You got to admit, turning to the camera and doing he doesn't care about someone saying the N-word that's pretty base, right? That's pretty, that was pretty funny.
It is funny. I don't know if it's honest or not because I don't understand the context, but it is funny.
Listen, he wasn't planning on releasing this, obviously, until Ben Burgis called him a liar on the panel. You saw it in the very beginning there.
Didn't Ben bring it up first? Or did I mean, who brought it up first? Did James bring it up first or did Ben bring it up first?
We might be able to watch part of the panel if you want to watch
Sure.
the beginning of the panel.
Mr. 6 for 500 Kazark says, I hate Ben Burgis, but oh my God, this is so incredibly dishonest and bad faith from O'Keefe. Kudos for reining in your elephant on the Sitch. Seems like
What?
are the truth seekers.
What?
And A-Team is the comedy show.
Why would you guys?
Bam!
I can't believe people turning on me like that. Was that that's like a 500 Kazarks too. Man, that's painful. That's painful.
Yeah, I found the article that has the context. Well, I found the article that explains what the video is about. But I want to find the video that Ben is talking about. That Ben is talking about the video to see what they're talking about. Because yeah, like if Ben is saying, like for example, if Ben says James O'Keefe sucks and this story is a big nothing burger, and they play part of the video and then they don't play the part where the teacher says the N-word, then that would be dishonest because you'd say, well, he's saying it's a nothing burger and he's not showing his audience the contentious part of the video, right? That's the implication that you get from watching this clip. But maybe that's not the context at all. Maybe Ben was talking about something completely different or something very specific, and so they only showed the relevant part of the video that had nothing to do with the other part. So that's why I'm saying I would like to find the
I open Twitter and I just start scrolling.
I would
I'm
like
not
to find the
joking.
Ben Burgess video where they actually talk about this.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I could watch 5 minutes of Ben Burgess without throwing up in my mouth. So,
I'm going to have to now because of you.
Why?
Because I have to get to the bottom of this.
It's a mystery. I mean, I sleep well at night with a lot of unanswered questions. I'm cool with that. It doesn't. It's not a big deal to me. But look at this. They got Tulsi Gabbard on this panel. They have James O'Keefe. They have Tim Pool. And then they have Ben Burgess. Why? It's so weird because
I prefer Destiny over Ben Burgess on that panel. To shit on James O'Keefe.
Yeah. Well, Destiny would be good. I mean, the left wing. How do we substitute Hans
Dr. Mueller?
Yeah.
Instead of
Ben Burgess. Yeah.
That would be nice. That would be nice.
Because, I mean, he seems like a lot cooler, honest character and not so wrapped up in identity politics.
Right.
And he's definitely on the left. So,
well, it's interesting. If he wanted to, Mueller could definitely swoop in and steal
Ben Burgess' spot. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, to some extent. At least because, like if Mueller starts appearing on a lot of these, streams and debates and stuff, since he's, I mean, if he got a better mic, obviously.
I messaged him about that, and he's got his producer working on it, so we can have him back on to talk to us.
Right. Yeah, because it's interesting because if he's going to be like a economic leftist, but who's pretty virulently anti-identity politics, that's an interesting position to inhabit. It's a good space to inhabit, I think, for the kind of internet conversations. But
yeah, maybe we can get him to destroy Vosh on some aspect of communism, which would be.
Oh, did you ever send him that? Yeah, you sent him that video. Like, I'm curious what his take is.
He did a video response to Jonathan Haidt too, which was cool. Yeah.
I would love for him to do a video response to the watching Vosh talk about what is a woman.
Oh yeah. That would be cool. That would get a lot of views too. That would blow his channel up.
Yeah, tell him that. Like, listen, blow your channel up.
So
Here's
I'm
gonna
fast forward to the Ben Burgess stuff.
Oh well, yeah,
that's
right. You
really
do that.
What we're interested.
I was gonna say, I did see a clip. I didn't watch the whole thing. I did see a clip of Destiny, at the conference. I forget who he was talking to, and he had a really bad take, a really bad take, where he was sort of repeating the Joe Rogan horse paste thing.
Yeah, I know, it's bullshit.
And then he doubled down on it, and it's like
he did, yeah. Lauren Southern tried to call him out on it and be like,
he did, yeah.
And do you think he knows? I mean, they did a study that showed people the reason why the ivermectin. It's ivermectin, right? That's what they're talking about. The reason why that did have certain effects in certain places.
Because they had parasites, yeah.
Yeah, they had a high parasite count. And
people had parasites they didn't know about. So obviously, if you killed the parasites, their bodies would be healthier for dealing with COVID.
Exactly.
Even though ivermectin had nothing to do with COVID
exactly.
itself.
So it was a third thing. Yeah.
No, and you could talk about. I mean, you could criticize Joe Rogan for. I don't remember exactly what Joe Rogan said about ivermectin, but I'm sure you could criticize him about something. But it's just the way in which Destiny seemed to criticize him seemed pretty hyperbolically unfair, and then he kind of just doubled down on it.
He has a lot of people in his audience that are anti Joe Rogan, anti Jordan Peterson, so he's kind of forced to do that shit, which sucks. I mean,
maybe,
but he's got a giant audience, so much bigger than ours. So.
Right.
Because he's won in a bunch of people who are just fucking morons. Right? All those haters.
Say that my answers was Tulsi.
Average on what's going on in the world and then take it from there.
All right.
Well, I wish I could say that my answers was Tulsi's because that sounds much healthier. But the sad reality is I'm much closer to Tim.
So Tim said when he wakes up in the morning, he checks Twitter, and Tulsi said she doesn't check Twitter. She tries to live in the real world. And Ben Burgess is saying, no, I wake up and check Twitter.
Well, of course. I mean, listen, Tulsi is a former politician, real world adult.
Yeah.
With a family. Okay.
She's not chronically online.
Tim Pool and Ben Burgis are chronically online, and that's part of their job is to be chronically online.
Of course, yeah.
You know.
It's such a depressing way to start the day, though, guys.
But to be fair, Twitter actually is good when you're not just arguing with people. You know, so there's real value in Twitter in that I have a list of people I follow, news organizations, activists, and personalities, left, right, and center. And so when I wake up, I'll see what CNN said, then I'll see what maybe the Examiner said, and then seeing both perspectives coming from, you know, establishment or maybe a left or a right source, then I'll have to figure out which one is actually closer to the truth. That's how I start breaking down the stories.
So we just had a little backstage extravaganza that I
so
just
fun.
wanted to touch on. Ben.
So that must be what they're talking about here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Backstage extravaganza.
Right.
So when
Unless something crazier happened backstage.
when I originally saw this, I didn't know what they were talking about there. So
Right.
Sure. So if you think about media manipulation, then, and you particularly, if part of your concern is about social media manipulation, is about censorship, then you should think, well, okay, if you actually care about understanding the source of the problem, if you care about solutions, then you should think about what are people really worried about. We live in, despite being a wildly economically unequal society that's not very democratic in many ways, we live in enough of a democracy that by and large people aren't worried about getting arrested. What are they worried about? They're worried about getting fired. Why are they worried about getting fired? Because the majority of Americans work in at-will employment situations in non-unionized workplaces where the boss can fire them at any time with no recourse and no due process. If you agree that this is a problem, right? And if you don't agree with that, I don't take you seriously on free speech. If you agree that that's the problem, what's the solution? Well, every member of every worker in every workplace in the United States should be a member of a union, because when you're a member of a union, you actually have due process. You actually have an organization that will represent you when you're accused of wrongdoing, the same way that a lawyer will represent you when you are accused of wrongdoing in the criminal justice system.
Have you ever been in a union?
So people aren't going to be afraid of getting arbitrarily fired. So, in thinking about this, leading up to it, I was watching a series of videos that Mr. James O'Keefe here did early in Project Veritas, where... Yeah. No, absolutely. So early in Project Veritas, where what is he doing? Is he sending in his little hidden cameras to CEOs meeting to talk about union busting strategy, or generals talking about drone strikes? No. He's surveilling ordinary working class people in order to demonize unions to make it easier to fire people. So he did this series called New Jersey Teachers Unions Gone Wild. And in that series...
Thanks for the free advertising.
Yeah. No, I think everybody should absolutely watch these videos to understand who and what James is. And in these videos, he's doing two things, right? So one of them is he's asking union officials, oh, would you defend me if I did this? Would you defend me if I did that? Which is like asking a lawyer, would you defend me if I was accused of murder? Would you defend me if I was accused of double murder? Yes, that's what a lawyer is, and it's a good thing.
Okay, these videos sound pretty base. So I might have to check them out.
You mean Ben's videos?
No,
You're gonna defend Ben now, or you're gonna James?
So I'm just picturing O'Keefe in his pimp outfit, saying, "Listen, listen, Mrs. Union Rep. How about if I do this? Will you defend me?"
No, I don't. Yeah, I'm not assuming that's not what happened. I'm assuming it was an undercover video of just teachers, or teachers probably drunk and criticizing their students or something, and one of them dropped an N-bomb.
Right.
So, but it's interesting. He made literally the same point, almost word for word, that Eric Weinstein made.
What is that?
He said, "Why are you going after these
Oh, you're right.
working class Joe schmoes instead of going after,
big people,
the heads, the big people?" You know, stop. He's like, stop going after the peons. Go after, you know.
Right. Yeah. He must have watched that.
Maybe he did.
You can't be in prison arbitrarily. It's a good thing you can't be fired arbitrarily. And in one of these videos, out of the many, many sleazy things he did, we didn't highlight this in the clip we did on my show. I wish we had. But in one of these videos, I do wish I had, because I think it's an instructive case. So in one of these videos, he's talking about a teacher who was accused of saying the N-word, and then I don't remember exactly what the disciplinary process were, but they didn't completely lose their job. And he was taking this as, oh, see, unions think it's okay to say the N-word, which is obviously asinine, obviously thinking that somebody's career shouldn't be ended over doing a bad thing is not the same as saying the bad thing is bad. So just now, just before we went on, a gentleman came up to me with a demeanor that suggested that, you know, no indication whatsoever. Yeah, I'm being nice. No indication whatsoever that he was affiliated with James or Project Veritas. His demeanor strongly suggested that he was part of the staff organizing this event. Said, oh, can I speak to you for a moment before the panel? And so I came back with him. They did their thing, their entrapment journalism thing. And in the course of it, they said, you know, one of the things that James said is, do you care about finding out the name of this teacher? And I said, no, because I do not. Because I don't think that if you did a bad thing at some point in your life, you deserve to be nationally named and shamed years later, whatever consequence you might have had at the time, whatever of chance.
That seems like complete and utter bullshit to me, because Ben Burgis, I've heard him fucking name and shame Jordan Peterson. So what the fuck?
Well, I'll say two things. That's a bad counterexample, because Jordan Peterson's like a huge name. It's not like a random person. I agree that I don't buy that Ben actually takes this position.
Of course, he's a fucking cancel culture warrior, man.
Yeah, I'm sure he takes this position. I mean, I could be wrong. I don't know. Maybe he's been. I feel like I've seen. I can't recall directly, but I feel like I've seen him being pretty pro cancel culture in the past, and I would be shocked if I saw him defending people on the right or in the center who are saying things that he wasn't like. You know, I'd be shocked if he wasn't, that he was defending them from being canceled.
Of course. He'd call him a transphobe and just join the mob. We should look up his Kyle Rittenhouse take. That's the...
Oh, I'm sure it's fucking...
Search Ben Burgis and Kyle Rittenhouse.
Oh, no. Well, let me first, I'm going to search Ben Burgis and cancel culture.
Rehabilitation there might have happened. And James, being the supreme media manipulator he is, responded to this by saying, oh, why do you think it's okay to use the N-word, which is obviously not what I said. But then again, James is a liar, so that is in character.
Evans. James.
So the video can't allege anything. It's an inanimate recording. It quoted the woman, Alyssa Ploshnik, union official in New Jersey, saying the N-word. She actually said the word. And she said that a teacher was still teaching after calling the student the N-word. As a journalist, isn't it a journalist's ethical duty to find out who that teacher is and report it?
Okay, so on the tape, it's a teacher using the N-word saying that another teacher called a student the N-word, but they don't know the actual teacher that called the student the N-word. That's the controversy.
Wait a minute. I was reading, so I missed that. So in the secret recording, it's not even a teacher calling someone the N-word. It's a teacher saying someone else called someone the N-word.
Right, and using the N-word, yeah.
That's it?
But she's saying that another teacher used the N-word on a student in a class, which is, that's pretty fucking horrible.
Yeah, but unless she's saying, like, good job, I'm so happy that teacher called that, little N-word the N-word, like, or she just relating the story, like...
It is hearsay.
We'll have to find. Well, the hearsay element doesn't matter. I'm saying there's a difference between saying, like, I thought the video, and we'll have to go find it. I thought the video was a teacher calling a student the N-word.
Right.
and laughing about it, like, "Oh, this kid I have is such a prom child. He's such an N-word." I'm like, "Oh,
Right.
that's a little, you know." like,
Yeah.
Oh no, you know.
Seems as
But
though
this
that's
is-
not the case.
Yeah, but that's not the case.
No, obviously.
All right,
that
all
is
right,
not
all right.
the
Hold on,
ethical
hold on, hold on.
duty of a journalist.
Bring it in, Tim.
You
Lots of
started this
people-
conversation with a political ideological statement from you about the importance of unions, completely irrelevant to media manipulation. You
Oh, it is
started your
supremely irrelevant to media
absolutely. You started
manipulation.
the argument from an ideological perspective.
A perspective about media.
Have you ever been in a
manipulation.
union? Just side question.
Yeah.
Which one? When?
I was in a couple. I've been in the.
Which one?
I've been in the UFCW and when I was working at Meyer in Michigan, and
Noted and accepted. I didn't believe you. I couldn't imagine, based on what you'd said, that'd been true, because I've been in 2 unions. I was in the Transport Workers Union, and I worked at a grocery store as well, which also had a grocery workers union. And they were so corrupt that I was like, the statement you made is just like your perspective I can respect that's coming from you, but it's like a blanket subjective perspective. But I don't want to have an argument
not at
about
all subjective.
I don't want to have an argument about unions.
However corrupt that union might have been that you were part of,
2 of them.
if you had been accused of an infraction subject to disciplinary process, then you would have had the option of having them represent you in that process. That
Wrong.
is- okay.
Bro. So I don't want to get into an argument about unions, other than to say, like, your subjective perspective.
It's not subjective. It's a fact that the effect of unions is to give you due process.
And
when you're
sometimes
about to
they
be
don't,
fired.
because humans are fallible. But I digress.
Okay,
issue
but you
here
can say
isn't-
the same thing about having trial by jury, that like sometimes
correct,
it's not
good
a
sir.
good due process.
So the issue is,
Still a due process.
we're talking about media manipulation. Instead of addressing the issue of what you take with James O'Keefe, his approach, and his video, you took a few minutes to go on about the importance of unions. And
Okay. So this is kind of irrelevant to what we were talking about. But
Yeah.
So first of all, I found I'll have to listen. I don't know. Maybe I'll listen to this at some point. I found a debate between Ben Burgis and Lance of the Surfs
Okay.
on cancel culture.
Really?
So
And Ben
I'm-
Burgess is on the side of cancel culture or against
I
it?
don't. Well, he's talking to Lance. I'm assuming it's the opposite.
That
it
Lance
says-
is against cancel culture? I mean, both those
No,
guys.
that Ben. So it says the Surfs versus Ben Burgis in a debate on cancel culture. When does it go too far or not far enough? So I'll have
Okay.
to like skim through that to see where everyone's position is.
Send me the
I found,
link. Yeah.
Yeah.
DM me the
I-
link so I can look
I
at that
found
later.
I found the video James brought up, and it's because it was actually from a few days ago. And it's called "James O'Keefe Hates Free Speech."
That's Ben Burgess's video?
That was the video that he played the clip from. That James said that he cut out the teacher.
Right. Okay.
So if you want, we can watch that segment.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
I was like, they're
Yeah.
says
The structure of this kind of reeks
Okay, wait.
to know that there's like, and I was right. But so I looked.
Just real quick, this is on Ben's channel. Ben
It's
Burgess'
on Ben's channel. It's called
James O'Keefe Hates Free Speech.
Free Speech. Yes.
Right.
It was a couple days before that incident backstage.
So Ben Burgess is, I'm guessing, trying to accuse him of cancel culture.
That is what I'm assuming. That's what it sounded like. What he was
Yeah.
saying on stage is that James O'Keefe claims to be free speech, but he's not, because
Right.
he's trying to get teachers fired for saying the N-word. Seemed like
Right.
that was his argument.
Ben Burgess doesn't realize that James O'Keefe has an entire staff that's going to fucking comb through his material.
Right. Well, I mean, that is. I don't know if that's. I mean, that is fair. James O'Keefe doesn't care about free speech, but
Are you sure?
yes, he's completely ideologically driven in one direction.
I don't think
But-
that's fair. I don't
Okay,
think
well,
that's
you're
fair.
wrong. I don't know what to tell you.
What? Who would James O'Keefe silence though?
No, I'm saying he doesn't. I'm not saying he's in favor of some people. I'm saying he doesn't, as a principle, he's not like one of these. He doesn't care about the.
I
principle
think
of
he
free
does
speech.
care about free speech.
No.
His
He
whole,
cares about it. He cares about it in terms of how it affects him.
He
and he'll use it as a
idolizes
shield.
fucking Deep Throat and the Watergate
no.
shit.
You should watch. You should have watched. I forget who made it. Was it Timbon Toast or something? He made like these 4-hour long videos, kind of going through all the dishonest editing
Of
that James O'Keefe
O'Keefe?
and Project Veritas does, and it's.
I
And
think I watched that. That guy's full of shit.
so. Yeah, no. Well, he's very leftist,
Mhm.
and so like when he strays into his opinion shit, it's very bad.
Yeah,
But when
it's
he's-
terrible.
But when he's doing just the like, when he's just telling you the facts of the story, and I looked into a lot of the stuff I looked into, he was all correct. That James O'Keefe was being very dishonest about. But we know that James O'Keefe is being dishonest about this shit. Why do you think he's got like this? You know how they get
dishonest?
these videos? Yeah, you know how they get these videos? Wait, you know how they get most of these Project Veritas videos?
Is it look, if you
wait.
set up
do you know how these
Yes,
videos,
I do.
Yes.
Yeah.
They
do it like
some hot lady.
They do it like a police sting.
They get some hot lady.
They do it like
to take out some fucking nerd to a bar.
They do it like a police investigation.
Give him some drinks, and then you get him bragging about some shit, and then he says something, hyperbolic he shouldn't have said, and they cut it up, and they don't release the whole thing, and you just get this segment. It's like, I can't believe this guy said this. Ah.
So you are against the tactics.
Of course.
Even though they hit pay dirt, even though they get people except
you don't know. Wait, but this is the bullshit. This is why I have zero faith in James O'Keefe.
You don't know because they're just talking shit because they're talking to a hot girl.
Well, A, yes, obviously, and then B, I remember like years and years ago. I don't remember which one it was. He actually used to release the full videos of whatever the thing was. And I remember going through one of them and being like, this is kind of nothing. Like he's editing it to make it look like this person looked really terrible. But if you watch the whole video, it's pretty uneventful. It's pretty mild what they're saying in the context. And then I saw other people notice that, and a lot of newspapers were publishing articles criticizing James for that. And so what happens after that? He just doesn't release the full videos anymore. It's just everything else is just out of context clips. And it's like, okay, well then why am I going to trust any of this stuff? Especially when it's, as you said, it's done in this like weird way, like a police sting where you have some like hot chick who this guy's trying to, brag to or something.
Yeah, there's certain rules about police investigations that you have to steer clear of entrapment that I don't think exist in journalistic.
Of course not.
Yeah. So, but it is what it is.
The website of Project Veritas, where that has a bunch of these clips. And on there, they have this little thing. The structure of this kind of reeks of like, this is for donors, right? So they can kind of see the results they're getting from their work, right? That there's like, here's the clip, here's an explanation of what's going on in the clip, and here's the victories that we had as a result of it, right? Like at the end.
It's like your Grubhub driver taking a video of your delivered order.
yeah, exactly. So, and in that, and in the results thing, they did brag about Chris Christie signing a bill that weakened tenure for teachers in New Jersey. That you have to do 4 years instead of 3 years before you get the due process protections, and it's easier to fire people at various points.
I mean, that's good, right? I mean, we need to be able to fire teachers. Teachers is a huge problem.
Yeah, of course.
So, so they do see this as a victory. They see this as a good thing, right? So that is one legislation thing I see. But they also want. Okay, so do we have? So let's just do the other O'Keefe ones quickly, because I think it all makes the point here, right? So I think we have like a little part 2 within this video. If we got that, so let's do that first.
And watch out! No one can stop this wild party. Not even New Jersey's Governor Chris Christie.
Whiskey and get a little misty. Join me now and slander Chris Christie.
Based.
Right at a red butt tick. Here comes Chris with a whipping stick. What are we gonna do? Kick him in the pool!
Everybody wants to, take this guy out one way or the other. You know what I mean?
The education system is not good with the current the governor.
No. It's the whole thing seems like it's a mess.
Christie is a fuck.
You couldn't make it out there, but the subtitle said Christie is a fuck. So there's a lot of. And then,
see, like, what is the benefit of that part of the video from Project Veritas? That's just because that's really gross. You have a bunch of teachers who are getting drunk at some private setting, shitting on the governor, and you're not allowed to do that. I mean, that's 100% free speech.
Sure.
I mean,
Well,
we would think it was disgusting if some leftist, what if some leftist filmed, I don't know, a bunch of right-wing teachers complaining about, Gavin Newsom
Obama
or some other,
yeah, sure.
some other left-leaning governor
Biden,
in order to get them in trouble
Kamala
or get them
Harris?
fired. Yeah, in order
Sure.
to try to get them fired. We would be like, that's disgusting. That's obviously a cancel culture attempt. So no, I mean, I agree. Like, that's pretty fucked up that James O'Keefe is putting that out there just to shit on these teachers. What? Because you're not allowed to shit on Chris Christie?
Yeah, no. I mean, I didn't see anything that I thought was objectionable.
Right. I don't know what this has to do with the N-word thing though. So maybe I think they get into it later.
Well, James O'Keefe was complaining that what he's showing of the video is a nothing burger, and that he should show the part where the teacher is talking
Yeah, says the
about a
N-word,
teacher, another teacher who, knows of another teacher who called a student the N-word and was never fired for it.
Right.
Right.
Well, here I found.
So he's making the case that in this video, Ben Burgis is saying calling students the N-word is his idea of free speech.
Yeah. So let's play a little bit more of this.
Right.
I found the full version of the Teachers Gone Wild video. It's like 5 minutes. We can watch that. And then I found the Teacher Union Gone Wild 2 that I think is specifically about the teacher saying the N-word thing.
Okay.
So.
Well, I think we can just put it in because I think we've seen enough of this.
No, I think because that wasn't the part that James showed.
Then we have the which was the night,
Yeah.
which is pretty much more of the same. We've got that.
From the guys who brought you Teachers Unions Gone Wild.
Which was the night before Christmas, when all through the house,
The holiday season is a time for giving,
not a creature was stirring,
a time for joy,
not even a mouse.
a time for peace.
So Governor cut the budget?
Yes.
What did he base that on?
He's a bastard. He's a bastard.
He's what?
I just called the governor a bastard, and I don't know who you are.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I'm very uncomfortable talking to you. Teachers Gone Wild in
I'm
New
really
Jersey.
sorry.
That's okay. I'm just not comfortable.
Could I-
Teachers Gone Wild, and there's a gentleman out there in the public quoting people.
It's happy holiday.
Oh shit! It blew up to the point where the teachers actually knew about it.
Is that it, or is that she's the one that came up with the title that they just used?
No, I think she's quoting the series.
Oh, I
She's
see.
saying
Yeah,
like
maybe.
there's a guy out there who's shooting this stuff called Teachers Gone Wild, and I'm worried you're gonna record me. It sounds like that's what she's saying.
Right.
Are you Chris Hansen? Please get away from me.
Holidays from the Teachers Union. You can expect the presents under their trees will be plentiful.
The stockings were hung by the chimney with care.
Because under tenure policy for union teachers, it's always Christmas in New Jersey.
But how long will it take me to get tenure in this day?
3 years and a day.
3 years and a day. Do you mean you're completely secure if you got tenure?
Yes, completely. Unless, like beat up kid.
But you've actually got to beat a kid up, in other words.
And in keeping with the holiday spirit, these union teachers have some warm season's greetings for Governor Chris Christie.
Yeah, he's a nut.
He cut Montclair $4 million last year.
Oh no, he's a liar.
Really?
Oh yeah, he's a liar. I'd hate to be in his family.
With our new governor.
What's wrong with this, Sitch? I don't think there's anything wrong with this.
What are you talking about? This is ridiculous.
This is wrong?
Wait. You're showing government employees
Right.
in private shitting on the governor in order to try to get the governor to fire them or do something to cut their funding, to get some sort of direct political response to them. This is literally cancel culture. He's trying to get these people in trouble for having a political opinion privately.
You think to get them personally fired or just to kind of show what's going on?
Of course, that is the entire point.
I feel like this is sunlight.
What is the point of this?
I mean, this is just sunlight.
No. See, if you had just the clip of them saying like, oh, it's so hard to lose tenure, right?
Mm-hmm.
like if that was all the clips, then you could say, oh, okay, the only point of this is that they're trying to show that the tenure system is corrupt and that, it's too difficult to fire teachers. But the fact that they keep focusing on the teachers shitting on Chris Christie is James O'Keefe trying to get Christie to have some kind of response to these teachers on an individual level.
Right. He's trying to get them triggered.
No, he's trying to get Christie to fire these people or to have
he's trying
some
to
kind
get
of
Christie
reprisal.
triggered over all these people calling him a dumbass.
So so he'll fire them or do something else against them.
But Chris Christie's like, I can't fire them. They all have tenure. Maybe if
I know he's
they
the
beat up
fucking
a
governor.
kid.
Who knows what? This is the guy that shut down the bridge. Remember that?
Oh, you're right.
nonsense?
He will fire him. Oh,
Yeah, who knows
he
what the
might,
fuck he'll do.
he might throw him off the bridge. Shit.
Yes, exactly. Like this is
this
is really gross.
This video is basically attempted murder. Then is what you're saying.
There you go. There you go. It's attempted
Cutting
cancel
back on a
culture.
lot more resources.
I mean, is he that crazy?
Yeah.
Just
He's
complain-
anti-education. We hate him.
Really?
Oh yeah.
You hate him?
He has been on, in our opinion, a vendetta against teachers. We don't know what a teacher ever did to him along his life.
That's
why our governor hates us. He just hates the teachers union. We have like 2.5 more years of him.
I feel uncomfortable so far just by virtue of my surname. And my name is actually Kevin Christie. And every time No,
Say
why?
no more. Say no more.
Why?
Just make sure you tell him you're no relation.
Really? I mean...
Make sure you tell everybody no relation.
No, I'm no relation, I promise you.
There arose such a clatter.
See, but this is what Eric was talking about. It's like you have a guy who's chatting up these teachers in a friendly manner, and the big scoop he's getting is that they don't like their governor.
Mm-hmm.
Like, is this really what? Is this worth the resources? Oh, really? People in the teachers union don't like their governor. Shocking.
You
Okay.
know,
This is
though.
so stupid.
If James O'Keefe was using these same techniques and going after white nationalists, fucking homeboy would be all over it. I mean, if he was going after vanilla conservatives,
Yeah, maybe
Ben
Ben
Burgis would be all over it.
Right, maybe Ben
Yeah.
would be, but I wouldn't be. I'd be like, what the? This is so bullshit.
Right. Okay.
If, as I said, if there were a bunch of Republican or conservative teachers that were complaining about their left-wing governor, I don't know, enforcing gender ideology or CRT in the classroom, and there's a bunch of videos of them complaining about that, and say media matters,
Right.
did undercover reporting that said, look at these teachers teaching your students. They don't like your liberal, they don't like your libtard governor who wants them to learn, CRT. And it's just a bunch of shots of right-wing teachers saying, oh, yeah, our governor sucks. Oh, he's a commie. Oh, he sucks. I'd be like, well, this is ridiculous. If they were saying that in class to people, then I'd say, okay, you have an argument. Teachers shouldn't be talking about politics in the classroom. But if they're just saying this privately to themselves, fuck, why is this being reported?
Yeah. Okay.
I sprang in bed to see what was the matter.
Right. There's probably something in it.
I don't know why James is cutting that Chris Christie
Because
doing
it's
the-
comedy.
But it makes Christie look like a buffoon. It doesn't make it look good.
He's trying to attract Chris Christie's attention. Do we have to watch more of this? Can we watch the other one?
I just want to see if they get to the N-word part.
Okay.
Because James was accusing them of
Cutting before they got
some
to the
N-word
N-word,
thing.
yeah.
Okay, I guess that's it. Maybe they didn't even watch the video with the N-word. Okay, I think this is the video that James made. He made
With
more
the
than
N-word
one.
in it.
I only found 2.
Yeah, this is a whole series.
1, 2, 3, 4, legislators, oh, what's 4, 5, 6, 7.
I mean, it's pretty cringy, I'm not gonna lie.
When we say do, you say do.
The following is actual footage from the New Jersey Education Association Leadership Conference. Viewer discretion is advised. What?
Yeah, they're trying to do the Girls Gone Wild.
New Jersey, New Jersey.
Get ready. The following is a paid program for teachers' unions gone wild.
This is a play on Girls Gone Wild, right?
Yeah.
Do you remember Girls Gone Wild? Did you ever
It's funny. We might actually have people too young in the audience to know
to
about that.
know about Girls Gone Wild? Yeah.
There used to be a bunch
Like
of
an
VHS
infomercial.
tapes. Yes.
Yeah.
You'd be watching Comedy Central like after midnight, and it'd be like Girls Gone Wild, and there's like a VHS tapes of these sleazy guys would go to like Mardi Gras parades and
Right.
other places where college-age girls were partying, and they like convinced them to take their top off for some money or something.
Yeah, flash.
It's so quaint to think that was like pornography.
Yeah, back in the day. I don't know that I've ever seen a Girls Gone Wild tape. I wonder if they're.
I don't think I've ever either, except for the commercials, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wild. What happens when you take the upper echelon of teachers and union leaders in New Jersey?
This is for the upper echelon leaders of the NJPA.
And bring them together into one lavish hotel? It can only add up to one thing. One wild and crazy NJEA leadership conference. Get ready to get down with some dirty teachers who will school you on how to have a good time.
Ever gone to the NJEA? No, it's my fair share. You get so much free shit. So what's good?
That's why we're laughing here. We're like, ha ha ha, playing video games on their side.
Look, she's playing Tetris.
So this is the clip. We didn't see it, but I guess this is what it looked like James was showing Ben responding to. It was this part, because they were talking about the video game thing.
Right.
And then he said, you cut off, so I guess maybe we'll get into the N-word immediately after, we'll see.
Screw you! These teachers will tell you the sexual extremes their members will have to go to in order to get fired.
Really hard to fire a tenure teacher. Really hard.
Even if there's like a case like that?
It's really hard. Once you get that 3 years a day, it's like swing. You're done. It's really hard. Like you seriously have to be in the hallway fucking somebody.
They'll even brag about
You have to be in the hallway fucking somebody to get fired.
Like you get fired for that, yeah.
What if you're just in the hallway making out? What if you're just not like full
that's true.
penetration or
That's
anything?
their members not getting fired for calling black kids the N-word.
We had a teacher that just recently was like, you. He's been moved down another student. And the teacher has been demoted.
Well, at least they demoted him. Jeez.
Her. I think it's a lady.
Oh, at least they demoted her.
Yeah.
But it's still teacher.
And watch out. No one.
Okay, so that's what he was mad that Ben cut that part out.
Right, yeah. As soon as he saw that video of Ben, O'Keefe knew. He's like, oh my God, I got him by the balls here. He's like, he cut the N-word part out.
Well, see, and this is why it's annoying, because I'd say like half of the complaint I think here is justified that O'Keefe's bringing up, and half of it is bullshit.
Okay.
All the stuff about Christie is bullshit, and that is 100% cancel culture. If you want to make a video about that you think is too difficult for tenured teachers to be fired, and you use as an example a teacher calling another student the N-word, I think that's totally justified.
Of course.
I don't know. I don't think it has to be done in this way, though. Like as this weird undercover, because it's an incident that happened. It's on record that this happened. There's articles about it from 2010.
But James is saying we don't know who the teacher is, and nobody's talking.
No, but that's bullshit, because he put her fucking name and face in this video. That's the teacher, Alicia Polshnik.
But the teacher didn't divulge who the teacher was that called the student the N-word and got demoted.
I don't know. They might not have fucking known. Weren't they calling him a he?
James O'Keefe was saying,
yeah, see, well, the person who was telling us,
shouldn't we know who the teacher was that called the student the N-word and got demoted?
Yeah, but we do know. It's public. There's articles about it.
Oh, we do?
The person telling the story obviously didn't know, because they said he.
Mm-hmm.
So they just heard a story about this. They heard a story that a teacher called the student the N-word and then wasn't fired for it.
Right. But you looked it up, so you know that the teacher that did it in New Jersey.
It's this lady on screen that we're looking at right now.
Hold on. The lady on screen right now is the one that told the story.
No.
On camera right now.
No.
How do you know?
Wait a minute.
Look. The teacher is the one. The lady on screen right now is the one talking in the video. She is the one that tells a story about another teacher.
Oh, you're right. Okay, you're right. I misread the story, yeah. I thought she was the one that said the N-word. Okay.
Who calls someone the N-word. James O'Keefe is like, I kind of would like to know who that racist piece of shit teacher is that just got demoted and didn't get fired. And Ben doesn't even care that there's this racist teacher running around calling black kids the N-word.
Well, first of all, this is from 2010. So
yeah.
But I would agree at the time it happened, yeah. You'd want
Teacher's probably dead by now.
What if the teacher's black? Does that make it okay?
That makes it a lot more interesting, that's for sure.
I wonder, have you seen that episode of the Boondocks where the teacher calls Riley the N-word? And then Riley like tries to get him all trouble, and the teacher's like, I hear Riley say the N-word every day. It's N-word this, N-word that, N-word, N-word, N-word. Like, I don't understand what the problem is.
That's a total Boondocks. Yeah.
That's such a great episode.
Yeah, so that would make it. Well, this is why James is upset. This is James is like, come on, we need to find out.
Listen, that's not why James is upset. James is upset because he doesn't like the teachers union and is pushing a right-wing narrative here.
Hold on, and
let's not parse what's actually happening.
Not only that, I mean, it's pretty obvious. This is all a farce to get it at Ben Burgis.
Of course,
but I love it anyway. I just can't help myself.
So okay, you're right. Yeah, this is but this makes it even worse to me that he's putting out this like she's not the one that did it, and she got in trouble for this. She got in trouble for telling another teacher this story while being secretly filmed. That's crazy.
I mean, yeah, that is kind of crazy. I'll give you that much.
Like, she shouldn't get in trouble for anything. If you want to press her to like, well, actually, you wouldn't even press her. You would press the state because the state would know. If the teacher got in trouble for calling student the N-word, the state would have a record of that. Not this lady.
Yeah. So, final thoughts. Let's move on, okay? I feel like
final thoughts is, well, it's annoying because we'd have to go back.
We don't have to go back.
See,
you're the one that wants to do all this hard-hitting journalism.
Well, you're the one that wants me to make a snap judgment about something I don't feel comfortable making a snap judgment on.
You don't have to. All you have to do is say, listen, I don't know enough about this story to comment, but I think it's pretty pretty hilarious that Ben Burgis, who I have known in the past to be a dishonest piece of shit, to my good friend Adam, and to our show.
And to myself.
Right.
And to Actual Justice Warrior.
And to Actual Justice Warrior, yeah. And yeah. Ben Burgis has been a piece of shit to Actual Justice Warrior, really? I didn't know that.
I think so, yeah. I don't like the way he acted in the debate. I mean, I think I'm trying to remember because I think I told Sean this. I think Sean sort of defended him to some degree.
Really? Okay. Interesting move.
Well, no, he wants to keep talking to him, and Sean's smart. We're not smart, okay? You shouldn't talk shit about people because then they don't want to talk to you in the future. So
bullshit. We are fucking genius. We already had the dude on, okay? I've talked to him.
Really want to talk to him.
I've talked to him more than I ever wanted to already.
Anyway, right, but Adam, that's not the type of weaponized autism that people come to expect of me. Okay,
Right.
To just be like, I don't know anything about this, but sure, it's funny. Like, you know, But what I would say is, and we can stop watching or talking about this topic because I'm sure we beat it to death. I have to go and see the exact point that Ben is trying to make about the video to determine whether it was dishonest. I think
it would be good for you.
I have a feeling, based on everything that what was being said, was that his point was James O'Keefe is pro-cancel culture. He's trying to get these teachers fired just because they're on the left in the teachers union, and he's bringing this video up as an example. And is it somewhat dishonest of him to cut out the N-word part, which is the most malicious part of it? Yes, that is somewhat dishonest for Ben to do, because I think, and it's actually stupid, because what Ben should have done was he should have played the N-word part and then showed how not the teacher that said the N-word to a student got in trouble, but the teacher relaying the story is the one that got in trouble, which seems to be the height of unfairness.
Ben doesn't know any of that shit because Ben talks
he probably didn't
without
look into it
knowing jack shit. Yeah.
Right. I don't even know why they were, maybe because he knew he was talking to James at this conference.
Yeah.
So this was like the preemptive video or something.
Yeah. He wants to call James O'Keefe a liar and a piece of shit.
Right.
Yeah. So he's doing
but
some
James
background
O'Keefe is
checking.
a liar and a piece of shit.
See, why you gotta do that? Why you gotta do that? Listen,
'Cause it's
we've
true.
never had James O'Keefe on.
Okay,
You
that's
gotta wait
fine.
till he comes on and then
I say,
call
well,
him a
okay, you're right.
dishonest
You're
piece of
right.
shit.
You're so right. Yeah. Okay, that's true. That's true.
It would be great to have James O'Keefe on. I mean, why wouldn't you? Man, I'd love to see you on one of these Minds panels and just, bring it up to this.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't
like
want to
this.
have James O'Keefe on for one reason,
Mhm.
and that's that I'd be so autistic to have so much research to be like, you said this. It'd be like the Inquisition. I feel like I just go into Inquisition mode, which I don't like to be in that mode.
We did this. We covered James O'Keefe for 2 shows. His talk
For the
with
Eric Weinstein conversation.
Eric Weinstein. That's exactly right.
Yes.
And I thought Weinstein was really weird in that talk, and I think what James O'Keefe does is like a necessary thing. I really do. So, I mean, I understand.
But you don't think that if what James is doing is taking people out of context, then you don't agree with it.
Well,
that's right. That's the whole thing. It depends on whether what he's doing is honest or not. I don't think it's honest. If it was honest, then I would agree with you. But I don't think it is.
I think it is honest to some extent. I mean, he can do a piece that is dishonest and a piece that's honest. I mean,
he's doing it. The problem is that James is doing it from a completely partisan lens, 100% partisan lens.
Right. Yes.
And so that makes
he's only going after the left.
Yeah, that should make you highly skeptical because you're like,
Well, not really, because we live in a situation where the left is trying to catch the right and the right is trying to catch the left. So as long as we have people in both camps that are doing this, I'm fine. I would rather have the information than not have the information.
I agree with you in theory. The problem is that it's not a situation where like, oh, we know this. It's not a situation where like, oh, the left is trying to eat the right and the right is trying to eat the left, and therefore you can listen to the left making good arguments about the right and the right making good arguments about the left. That's not what happens. They make shit arguments about each other constantly.
He did some videos on the pandemic stuff that were just, they were trash. They were garbage. But I feel like you could just, you can look at them and you can tell. We're all adults here, okay? James O'Keefe is not going to bat 1,000. He's going to make mistakes and shit. I feel like I would rather have someone that's out there doing investigative journalism when, like, you don't even have MSNBC and fucking CNN doing investigative journalism anymore. They're just calling their sources. They're basically like stenographers for people in power.
Yeah, but this is the whataboutism. You're whataboutism, okay?
No,
you're
I'm
saying,
not.
yes, you are, because you're saying, listen, James O'Keefe might suck, but CNN sucks. I'm like, yeah, okay,
That's not a
agree with you.
whataboutism. Listen, I'm very clearly saying we need investigative journalism. There were certain institutions that it was their job to do investigative journalism.
Yeah, but we need
those
good
institutions.
investigative
Those
journalism,
institutions are no longer doing investigative journalism. We need someone to do it.
Yeah,
That's
but
not
investigative
whataboutism.
journalism. Oh, wait a minute.
I'm not saying
Investigative
what about
journalism-
MSNBC. I'm saying
Wait. Investigative journalism that's not based on truth seeking, but is based on tribalism and political partisanship is not going to provide or yield results. Because this would be like saying you could make the same argument about Steele and the Russian investigation.
This
You're
is
like,
how science
I
works.
want investigative research into Donald Trump. It's like, yeah, but wait a minute. People are saying it's being paid for by Hillary Clinton campaign. So that means that it's, you can't trust it to be an unbiased source of information. And that's a good point. That's fucking true. It doesn't mean that everything that's brought up is going to be false, but it means you have to look at it with a critical eye.
I agree.
You have to fact check it.
I agree.
Okay.
Which I am looking at it with a critical eye.
but
Like
that's
I
the-
said, his pandemic
that's the
videos I
problem,
thought were just
right?
garbage.
Yeah, but that's the problem, is that if James is not going to put out full videos, so you're just going to get these out of context clips of guys trying to, seem cool in front of chicks, I'm just not going to buy it.
Right. But you don't, that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of it.
What's the beauty of it?
You don't have to buy it. You can
Okay.
you can say, listen, this looks like bullshit. But don't shut it down. Don't you want to still see it?
I'm
Don't
not
you
saying
wanna-
to shut it down.
Don't you want the option of being able to say this is bullshit or not bullshit?
Sure, you could. I just think.
But
yeah,
it
I'm not
sounds like you're
I'm
saying
not-
you don't
no.
want O'Keefe
I'm
out
not
there
saying
doing
O'Keefe
this.
should be canceled.
Okay.
Well, I wish he would. I wish he would do it properly. I wish he was a fucking truth seeker and
Well,
not a hack. But you know,
You can persuade.
I know
you
it's a
can-
high ask for the world.
You can ask. And not only that, I mean, even like science is based on people are going to be biased, and you need biased people checking other biased people's work. Nobody's non-biased. I mean, there was a time culturally when we had this ethos of I am journalist, I will be unbiased.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, that time no longer exists. People forgot to, teach that meme in college or whatever, and now everybody's just like, I'm biased as fuck, I'm an activist.
Of course.
I don't like that
agree
situation.
with you, but the solution to that is not to just have bias from the other side. That's not the solution.
It's the only solution that we have right now is
That isn't no, because it doesn't fix anything. It just furthers the problem.
how?
It's like
the problem is not
it's-
getting
it's-
any information.
okay.
Not having any investigative journalism is the problem, I think.
hmm I agree with you, but having bad investigative journalism doesn't solve the problem.
I mean, is it better than none?
Sometimes it depends on it's you can't make a blanket statement. Sometimes it's going to be better, and sometimes it's going to be worse.
Yeah, it's
Because
hit
that's
or
like
miss.
saying,
I agree.
Because it's like saying, well, is disinformation or misinformation better than no information? And it's like, well, I guess it depends. on
Okay,
the
we'll leave it.
specifics, right?
We'll leave it here. We'll leave it here.
Okay. I feel like we're beating this.
No,
to death.
I have one last question.
Okay.
Was it worth it just to see that look on Ben Burgess's face?
No, this conversation was not worth it for this.
What?
Just to see that look on Ben
What?
Burgess's face.
You don't think? Oh God, it's so good.
I don't want to. Why you make me defend Ben Burgess, someone I have a huge dislike of? Disgusting.
You don't have to. It's up to you.
Okay. I have to defend the truth, Adam. It's in my blood.
Don't come on.
I'm a true seeker. I'm the true seeker. S-Class is the true seeker here, Adam.
Okay. So you're basically saying Ben Burgess was in the right here, and that
I don't
Ben
know.
Burgess is allowed to deceptively edit shit. Just
Well, again, since we didn't watch the part where
Mm-hmm.
where he played that clip, I don't know. I think it was. I'm guessing, if I had to guess, that it was. I think it was somewhat dishonest for Ben to not play that part.
Mm-hmm.
But also, I understand his point that that's not exactly relevant to what he's talking about.
well, and I don't think he did it. I don't think he deceptively edited it. I think he just did it inadvertently because he's a dumbass.
I don't think so. I think if he cultivated that video, which it appeared that he did,
Mm-hmm.
based on the little bit of the stream we watched, he would not play that part because it's contentious. Someone said the N word.
Right.
So I do think he did. I do think he was aware that was part of the
Really? Okay. So you're
video. Yeah,
saying,
I would guess he was aware of that part of the video. Yeah.
So you're saying he's further along in the deceptive editing than even me. Okay.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. I would guess he did see that part of the video. He intentionally left it out for his argument because it would make his argument. He'd have to make his argument more complicated and nuanced as opposed to giving, the very dumbed down. Oh, James O'Keefe hates free speech. James O'Keefe hates the teachers union. He doesn't want to get into the whole N-word debacle with his audience.
So Ben Burgess was nervous as fuck because he's like, oh my God, he watched my show. He saw me talking shit about him.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's caught in this weird situation completely unprepared.
Shit about him.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's caught in this weird situation completely unprepared.
Yeah.
To have a conversation.
Well, I mean, I would be uncomfortable if I did
Sure.
it. Like Ben Burgess's whole shtick is sitting around talking smack about people.
If we talked shit about some YouTuber or something, and then we went to a conference, and I
And they
knew that I was
watched
going
it,
to talk to that
yeah.
YouTuber on stage, and I was preparing to talk to them about something, and someone I didn't know said, "Oh, Sitch, can I talk to you for a second?" And I thought, that they were part of the this affiliation that I'm speaking at. And I'd say, oh, sure. And I walked in, and there's Vosh, right? Okay, like here, let's be specific. Say, I'm going to speak at some conference about CRT. I'm going to debate Vosh on it or something. And then someone brings me to a room that I think works for the conference, and they're like, and then I see that Vosh is there and he's got a camera, and they're like, oh, Sitch, you said this and this and this about me. It had nothing to do with CRT. You said all this stuff about me, blah, 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 blah. And he has like a little tablet, and he's like showing me a clip. He's like, do you have a response? Do you have a response for this? I would just literally walk away. I wouldn't even I'd just be like, well, we'll have this debate on stage, and just walk away. Because what's the point? What's the point of this ambush shit? It's not honest. And it's not. That's what makes it funny. So we know it's not honest, and we just don't like Ben Burgis. So we say, ha, 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 fuck this guy.
Yeah.
Exactly. But it's like, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, there's sure. If that's all you want, I guess.
Why? Oh, man.
Sitch is lawful good, okay? I don't know what to tell you. I'm not listen.
Adam is
you're the
chaotic
paladin.
evil.
Adam is the paladin who is, when we played, was like lawful evil, going around like killing hobos.
I was always, when we played D&D, I was always a chaotic evil paladin, because paladins are supposed to be good. It was like, it's great because you walk up and they're like, oh, a paladin, he's good. Ah, fooled you.
Anyway. Adam was okay. So Adam was, he not only was a chaotic evil paladin, he was like this dragon race that I think once a day could shoot very powerful flame breath, and he wastes it. He uses his once a day flame breath not on like an enemy, but on a hobo who's like asking for money or something. He's like, "Fuck you, hobo!" It's just like,
I think I said.
And we were like immediately in a fight after that, which like we got our asses kicked, and I was like, Adam, if only we had fire breath, it would have really helped the fight.
That hobo needed to get a job, okay?
That hobo needed to get like his face melted off.
That hobo is no longer unemployed. I want you to know that I did him a huge favor.
Yeah, because he's dead. Okay, he's employed in hell.
Anyway, enough about me already.
Yes.
All right. I think I learned something here. I need to send you the video that we're going to watch ahead of time.
Well, if you don't know the context of what we're talking about.
I just figured you could roll with the punches. These are supposed to be light, airy videos. We've talked about this for like 2 hours.
What's the Vosh video? Did we roll?
No,
time for the Vosh
let's
video?
read super chats. Okay, let's try to get maybe.
You're supposed to debate people today.
I know.
Okay.
Is that going to happen? Is CT?
I want it to
around,
happen. How are we gonna?
I thought CT knows. I don't know how to work Discord, so.
I don't know if we have time. You wasted so much time with this fucking dumb shit.
You wasted so much time.
You forced me to do this, Adam.
All I
you took away
wanted
all
to
my
do.
Free will. You triggered my autism.
All I wanted to do was make fun of fucking Ben Burgis. Who, if there's not, look, Ben Burgis has been openly dishonest about us. And if you can't make fun of someone who's been openly dishonest about you, then who can?
I want to make fun of them. I just want it to be valid. That's all I want.
Right, I understand.
That's all I want.
And I wouldn't have watched the video if I dug too deep and found the truth.
There you go.
But anyway, who cares? We're moving on.
Okay, moving on.
Hi, you just listened to a clip from the Sitch and Adams show. If you like what you heard, you can listen to our live show right here on this channel on Sunday, starting at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern. And if you want, you can super chat us. We read $20 and up super chats on the show and then do a follow-up stream on the following Tuesday where we read the rest of the unread super chats and interact with fans of the show. Subscribe to this channel right here to listen to the live show or to listen to more of our awesome clips.